Oh, we starting.
Yeah, we're starting.
All right. What up, y'all boys?
Back again for another episode of As We Are.
As we are.
I feel like every time we do these episodes, they just feel the intros feel so generic.
Yeah, they feel kind of bland, but I was just about to talk about my hair and how this is as I am right now. I need a retwist and everything, but we here. We here, baby.
Coming as we are.
Yeah, we probably could find something to do to spice up the intros.
Yeah.
Like, bang! Boom! Now you got to do some editing and make that do something.
Or will I just have you sit there looking stupid waving around like that?
Right?
I guess it just depends on how you treat me during this recording.
I know, right? We'll see. Oh, man.
All right.
But hey, man, it's good to be back.
Yeah.
Another episode.
Good to be alive and breathing.
Let's dive right into it.
Yes, let's jump in. Today we are talking about the burden of being called. That is a loaded title.
Loaded title.
The burden is such a...
Burden got a negative connotation towards it, but
yeah.
when you realize what the burden is, and that the burden actually lifts you up, the burden is only a burden because of our fleshly instincts.
Yeah.
So that's why we call it the burden of being called. But being called is really a blessing.
Yes.
It's really a blessing to be called up higher, to see that know that God wants you to perform these tasks. So God wants you to lead these people. He chooses you to go that way. It's really a blessing. But it can feel like a burden to us. And I'll let you keep going because I was about to take off.
No, you go ahead. I'm just gathering my thoughts as you're talking. So
okay.
Give me the time I need.
So yeah, I just forgot what I was gonna say anyway.
So before we recorded, Daniel we were talking about this episode, and Daniel was like, "Where do we start?" And then you asked.
Oh, I asked.
How do you know you're called?
How do you know you're called? What does it mean to be called?
Yes, that's a good place to start.
That's
right
a real
there.
good place to start.
For me, first of all, answering that question, what is it? How do I know? How do I know that I'm called? I know that I'm called because when God calls you, it's not something that you necessarily want to do. It's you are living a certain type of way, and all of a sudden you realize this isn't the way I'm supposed to be living. But you know that it's God because it goes against all your instincts telling you to keep going that way and stay complacent, basically. So I knew that God was calling me because, that reason right there. And that when he called me, there was peace.
Yeah.
And I knew that it was him. So
I feel like we know that God is calling us in a multitude of different ways.
Yeah.
But some of the easiest ways is going to be on your heart. You're going to know, like, the initial calling to come to Christ, it's going to be on your heart. You're going to be thinking, you're going to be curious, you're going to be wanting to look into this a lot. But when you get into it, you're going to feel this warmth, this covering. You're going to feel like, okay, this is where I need to be. Once you get that feeling, and yeah, that's nice and everything, I'm not going to say it's going to wear off, but then reality comes back, and you start learning and getting closer to God, and you realize what it means to be called by God, or means to be a Christian, or means to be walking on a certain path or led by God, right? And that means you have to walk on that path as well while God is leading you. So it can feel like you're giving up a lot of things and things like that, but you're actually changing. And it's beautiful because the way God does it, he eases you into it.
Yeah.
And it's always on your heart. You're just a feeling like, okay, cool, I need to do this. God isn't going to, in the Bible, it does tell you certain things you're not supposed to do. Don't do this, don't do that. It's like laws and rules, right? But at the same time, you come as you are, right? You come not as you are, but at the point you are.
Yeah.
Right? And God then puts it on your heart. As you get closer to him, certain things will fall off or certain things will feel wrong. And that's how you know you need to stop doing these things. And that's when the calling becomes the burden.
And I was to expound on what I said. So you're living this certain way, right? And you've been living this way for so long, and when God comes along, you know it's him because it's like you said last podcast, it didn't come in any other way that you would have thought of, and it goes against. I feel like I'm restating what I just said, but it's oh my gosh, what is the word? It's like it collides with what you're
it's
doing.
Like it specifically oh man, I lost the word too. It specifically attacks the things that you're doing, right? So like, I don't know, how do I explain this? If I got a problem, or if I like going to the club, right? Every time I go to the club, it's gonna feel like I'm not supposed to be in here. Mm-hmm. The specific targeting, you're gonna know this got to be God, because this is actually a thing that I like to do, or this is actually a thing that I'm used to doing, and it highlights itself.
This is what I'm comfortable doing.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how in the middle of us doing something we know we're not supposed to do, sometimes we'll be like, I'm really not supposed to be doing this right now, but we keep doing it. Like yesterday, or today, I was like, I really need to be drinking some water, and I was like, as I had the Coke in my hand, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. But it's just so funny, like we know.
Yeah.
That's how I'm like, I was thinking about it last night too. We have a conscience. We know what's right and what's wrong, and we don't have a conscience by accident. We have a conscience because God has placed this conscience in our head
to guide us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also it just sound a little weird if God talked to you and you didn't have a conscience. Mm-hmm. You'd be like, "Well, what is that?"
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of funny though. But it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. So we talked about how do we know we're called and what do we like to be called. So let's talk about the burden aspect of it. The burden aspect of it.
So
definitely the very first burden that I would say is
walking in love.
That too, but
that's my biggest one.
Just being lonely.
Yeah.
Like we talked about it a little bit last episode, but it's like
the separation.
Yeah. You know, everybody that is around your immediate circle or people that you're close to and stuff, especially when you first get saved, you're like the very first one leading that typically. Yeah. And it's like what people are doing over here, you can't engage with because God has called you.
And it hurt.
Yeah.
It really do. But I'm sorry for cutting you off. But like, I think it's still something I go through every day because I'm like, God, why couldn't they just come with me?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of y'all probably won't know me or anything like that, but like, I wasn't the best person. You feel me? I used to go out, get turned, be lit, all of that. And I used to have my boys with me and my homegirls with me. And we used to go out and we used to tear up the streets. But now I done changed. I'm doing my thing for God, and I'm running with God. And they not really we don't see eye to eye. You feel me? And I'm like, I'm cool with that. I love y'all boys. I just got to do this thing right now to get me to the next part where I got to be at. But me consciously saying that and consciously knowing what I'm doing, it hurt, bro. For real. Like, I want them boys to feel the same joy I'm feeling. But I feel like as the first, you're the leader. Right? So if you're the first out of your group of friends and you got to break off or God has to isolate you in order for you to grow, He's going to use you as an example.
Yeah, they're going to see how good
and
your
you want to walk. That's what I was just talking about, the next burden, walking in love. It's so hard, but you want to walk in love so people can look at you and see different. And then they have to think, why is he like this? And then when they see or they get to meet you and they find out why you're like this, it's because of God. It's because of Jesus. Jesus saved you and you found your way and you started walking in love and kindness and peace. But, boy, I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's easy.
Then going back to the friend aspect, is like your heart. When I first got saved, and even now that I look at some of the people that I follow, I'm just like, my heart aches to see them living this way when I know that there's a better way. When you know the truth, you want everybody you know to know the same truth as you, to experience that same joy that you have. You look and you see people, oh, I'm depressed, or I'm not happy, I feel like I don't have a purpose and stuff like that, and you're like, but you do. You just gotta tap in and tune into God.
Yeah, it's just like
frustrating.
What is I heard somebody say this the other day. It's kind of like this. They say you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink.
Yeah.
It was like that, but it was different. It was funny. I liked it. This one better. That one better, but I can't remember it. So that's what you get. Yeah, bro. So like, you can do so much, but sometimes it takes you having to see You having to be that example so other people can see that it's not impossible.
Yeah, and sometimes they see people who they don't know or who they see like on TV or on Instagram. They're like sometimes it doesn't seem real when it's not somebody you know, but when it's somebody close to you in your circle that you relate to, that you trust, then you know like, okay, maybe that does work. Maybe
it might be more attainable. It might be actually true. Yeah.
Maybe it's reachable. Yeah. What's another one? I wrote down one else.
I don't know what you just said, but I just encourage y'all, man, take it a step at a time. And when you always seek God in everything that you do. And when I say everything that you do, is a literal term. The easiest, I wouldn't say the easiest, the best way to help grow your relationship with God is to just talk to him like he your best friend, man. Keep talking to him. Always seek God. Even if you don't get an answer back immediately, it's good to get it in repetition, to get the habit made of asking God before you do anything. And I'm gonna start talking to God about this.
About what?
Me forgetting what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
That gotta be
supernatural recall.
Yeah.
But let me tell you about what happened to me today. I don't know if I want to say too much because I don't want to out my job. But
oh yeah, don't know.
Well, I guess I'm not gonna talk about it.
Yeah, man.
But mommy knows, Daniel knows, so that's
actually it was powerful. I almost cried when she told me.
Really?
Yeah, like it's just the.
Why did she tell you and didn't give me the chance to tell you?
I'm sorry, but I'm happy she did tell me because you would have said it.
Yeah.
It's crazy how God, or the steps that God takes, or how accurate. I don't know how's the detail in it, right? The smallest things he'll do, and he'll show you why he made you do it. And then the small thing it's gonna hold up something so colossal. It's beautiful, man.
And I always used to wonder. I used to see these people talking about what God has revealed to them, what God has showed them, and I'm like, how do you know that's God talking to you? How do you know it's not just your voice or the voice in your head telling you something? But now I know to a point where I'm like, what is that smoke coming from the kitchen?
Mr. Jason cooking something?
It'll be fine. God is over there too.
God got it.
Yeah. But it's like, like for me, whenever I hear God talking to me, it's just like experiencing his presence. I get emotional and I get not uneasy, not fearful in the bad way, but like fearful of his presence. Like, like, yeah, it's like, just like in the Bible, when people would see the angels or people would see God and stuff, or not see God, but like hear his voice or something like that, they start trembling because they're scared. Like, I just get, that was crazy. Like, I got shaky. Like, I was
kind of like, it's like a not out of body experience, but something like just so amazing that you like, did that actually happen? Yeah.
And like, I used to think it was more than what it really was, but it's big. Don't get me wrong. I used to think it was like this big, grand thing, like, come to me. But it's not like that at all. It's like like they said, like a faint, small voice telling you, and it's not yours at all. Like, and then I get emotional and I get like, I don't know how to explain it, but I had to run the shift today, and I was like, how do you expect me to do this after you just told me what you just told me? People are coming to me, Jasmine, what do you want me to do? Where do I go? Can you do this for me? I'm like,
you embrace it.
Hold on, give me one second. Yeah,
but embrace it, especially where God is taking all of us and God is taking you. You got to think about it. Look at this. I'm gonna put you in perspective.
Okay.
You little sis, but you really big sis. Like, you don't know, I look up to you in when it comes to like spiritual things and stuff like that, or towards God and stuff like that. You're really my big sister in that aspect of it. So knowing God is blessing you so much and seeing how you're going along your path makes me more encouraged. Makes me want to keep going, because sometimes I be lost in the quietness, right? But then I see you and I'm like, Jasmine staying strong, Jasmine doing good, Jasmine excelling. I'm gonna watch Jasmine, right? And just to know that he's talking to you and stuff like that, what you need to do once, because you coming up higher and he's spoken to you, embrace where you're at right now, and learn everything and anything. learn it, right? Because
Yeah.
you're in a season to learn. And once you learn everything you need to, you're going to move on. But when you look back, there might be situations in your future that this has prepared you for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, something else I just remember when you were talking to me, going back to what we were supposed to be talking
Right? We off topic.
about. I remember another experience I had. I was at work and I was watching some video, and it was about like the transgender people and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember feeling like they are so lost. In my heart, I was sitting down at work. Why do these things always have to be at work?
But you're sitting down too much.
I don't know. But I was sitting down. I was off. I was clocked out, and I was watching this video, and I just started crying, like full on crying, hyperventilating. And people were walking by, like, what's wrong with her? And I was just like, they are so lost, and my heart just breaks for them. My heart.
Mm-hmm.
And
Your
I just,
eyes
like,
watering up right now.
Yeah. Like I wish I could just jump to the screen and just hug them, because you can see the pain in their eyes. You can see the weight that they're carrying. You can see all the attempts they're making to make up for this emptiness they feel. But like nothing's gonna work except God. And I was telling mommy this, and that's why I thought about this topic, because she was telling me that I'm burdened. Basically, I have been burdened with this calling, and oh my gosh, just lost my train of thought. But this is
Well, it's what's gonna make you so much more compassionate for what you see and what you feel as you go along. Is because you can connect, you can feel it.
Mm-hmm. And part of the burden is like I said, wishing you could alleviate their pain and stuff like that. But we can only do as much as we can do, and let God do the rest. And that's where I used to go wrong. I used to be like trying to prove everybody right, like prove why this is that and prove this is that, answer everybody's questions and stuff, because I wanted so badly for them to understand whatever it took for them to understand and to gain the knowledge that I have.
And that's so true.
Yeah, and I have to understand that some people genuinely don't want the truth, and they don't want to be saved, and I had to accept that.
No, you don't. And guess what? I was watching. It's crazy because this TikTok, this dude, is popped in my head. Just pause. I'm sorry. I'm watching this dude on TikTok now, and he like, I love him because he goes out. He got this little microphone thing, and he's like, where do you go after you die? Where do you think you go after you die? And people be like, oh, nowhere, or they be like in the ground, or they be like, they don't believe in heaven or hell or stuff like that. And he'll go up, he'll be talking to them, and then he'll pray for them. He'll tell them, he'll be like, first, I don't want to push Christianity on you. I don't want to make you a believer or anything like that, but I want you to give me the opportunity, or I'm asking you for the opportunity to pray for you, that God will reveal himself in his unique way towards you, and that you'll be blessed. And that's what he prays over them if they allow, right? And sometimes that's all that we can do.
Yeah.
If somebody's just not getting it, it's just not clicking, their heart right now might be stony ground. Their heart right now, they might not be ready to receive. Their ears and eyes might not be open. So you just got to pray that God gets them in their unique way, and he speaks to them in the way that only he can speak to them. And God's going to bring them. That's been my resort now. I even pray for people before I even start talking to them for the first time. I pray for them.
And that's what I meant. Like, I didn't mean like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. But I meant I can't be the one who changes their heart or turns them around in my own power. Yeah. I have to talk to them, tell them the truth, pray over them, and let God handle the rest. And it's just like, I'm a control freak a little bit. So knowing that I can't be the one to do that, it kind of just aggravates me a little bit. But God knows what he's doing better than anybody knows what they're doing.
And it all has to line up with his timing too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this was a good one.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
You know me. Before the episode, like in it, I feel good, but afterwards, I'd be like, I don't know, a little shaky. I just got to see them.
Yeah,
watch them.
When I edit these videos,
I
get a whole different type of like revelation.
For real?
I'm hearing what you're saying right now, but when I go back and watch it, I'm like, wow, he just said that.
I can't wait till I can see him and watch him.
Yeah. But if you guys have any questions please let
Yes.
us know. We are excited to hear from you guys and hear your feedback and your questions and your stories. And I hope that
Testimonies,
your
everything.
testimonies. I hope what we're doing here is
Actually
inspiring
helping.
you guys and helping you guys in some way, shape, or form. That is our main goal.
That's it. And that's all we want. And y'all, I want to tell y'all, it takes so much for me to get up here. Cause if you ask anybody else, this is not me. Like, it take a lot for me to get up here, and that's how much God is working on me. That's how much I want Him to work on y'all. I want Him to bring y'all closer to Him, bring y'all forward, lift y'all up higher. Because the only thing that comes from God is elevation of you and elevation of His people through His will, through His word, through you walking in love. Think about it. And this is another thing. This is a Hovey song. He said, God told me to love on you. Why would you hate on that? Drama, if my melody. But anyways,
I didn't hear that song. I gotta hear
you
that.
heard that. God told me to love on you. Why would you hate on that? Okay, cool. But he says that, like, God told me to love you. He's telling you to do things that bring each other closer, lift us up. And I just want that for y'all so much, man. So, folks, do me a favor, man. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Get this to as many people as you can see.
Yes.
Tell a friend. Text it to them. Text it to your grandma, your auntie, your cousin, your uncle. Everybody need God, man. I love y'all.
Love you.
Peace.